guys, in this video we're gonna create a Chrome extension that will allow us to change font size in online code editors. So let's see at the issue definition here. So here I have a code editor at pythonanywhere.com, and to be honest I have no idea how to change the size of the code here. So that's the reason for creating this sort of an extension. So without further ado, let's actually start writing some code. So here I have a starter template for my extension. So I have a folder change font size, and this folder would be used as the unpacked extension for the Chrome browser. And I have an image to serve as the icon for my extension. Also we'll use jQuery.min.js. So this is the jQuery minimal library here. And also the heart of any Chrome extension is this manifest.json file. And let me briefly walk through the manifest.json just to in order to explain what's going on here. So here we have the name for our app, the version, the description, and now some interesting parts. So here we define the content scripts. The content scripts are the scripts that are executed in the background of the particular web page that is being loaded. So by saying that, I mean that say we've just updated this sort of a page, and we want to add some sort of a JavaScript to this page, and that JavaScript would actually change the style of the text. So I'll show you that just in a moment, just a bit later on. Okay, so that's regarding the content script. And also here, when we would be clicking our extension button, which is not yet exist, we want to execute some more script, and that script would actually, okay, so here is the browser action, and so this part defines the icon for our application, for our little extension, and also the popup.html defines the inner HTML layout. Okay guys, so just let me better start doing things instead of explaining, and you'll understand this along the way. So the very first thing, we need to create the content.js script here. So I just created a new file here and call this content.js. And this would be very simple at the moment. We just simply want to alert that this is a content script, live. Okay, like this. And also let's create the popup.html file here that would serve as a layout for our extension. And we don't really need to specify all those fancy HTML tags. The only thing we need here is actually the select type equals to option, and we would also need the ID, and we will call this font size, like this, select. And here we will be having the options themselves, basically. So option, and these options would represent the font size in pixels. So we'll start with the 14 pixels here, option, and going up to we'll say 16, 18, 20, okay, 24, 26, well, probably 26 is more than enough here. So just save the stuff, okay, and let's check that out if everything is enough to load unpacked extension here. Okay, seems like it is. Now I'm going to my extensions here, and make sure that your can invoke that you did invoke the developer tool. So how to get here? You simply need to open this dialog here, more tools, extensions. So you're in the extensions, and also enable the developer mode. And here is the load unpack button. I'm going to my desktop, and here is the change font size Chrome extension that we're currently developing. And simply click open here, and see that the button for the change font size extension has been just created. If I just click this, I see a simple HTML view that was some simple HTML layout that was just created in the popup.html file. And now one more little thing here to consider is actually here in the popup.html I would like to add a couple of scripts. So the first script would be the jQuery, so source equals jQuery dot main dot JS, and this is needed in order to quickly extract the value of the selected option, so without need of writing that much code in pure JavaScript. So that's the first one. And another script I would like to see here would be, and by the way, one little thing here, that while writing your Chrome extensions, it doesn't really allow you to embed scripts into the extensions layout for some security reasons. So we need to explicitly include all the scripts we want to run within our extensions. So here I'll say source equals, well, let's call this just simply script dot, well, maybe we can call this change font dot, maybe just font.js, that's enough. Okay, font.js, and let's close the script tag. Now of course we can add the type equals text JavaScript in both. Save. And also we need to create a new file that would be actually called font.js. So okay, and here we need to specify the onChange event listener. So we want to listen to the onChange event of selecting each particular element over here. So that's kind of the thing. So in order to do that, we need to do the following. So first thing to consider, we need to pick up the element in our extension layout. So here's the font size is the ID of the select element that we need to pick up in our font.js file. So we can simply use the jQuery selector the following way. So we say font size like this, and here we specify on change, and the callback function here, I'm using the arrow function this definition, which is the short way of defining functions in JavaScript. So here I want to alert, let's first alert just the event itself. So say just changed, save, and go into extensions and click on this update button here, and I hope to see that. Okay, so for some reason this update doesn't fire. I'm not sure why exactly. Okay, hold on a sec, guys. Okay, that's probably because I did pick the wrong selector here. So let's define the font size this way. Okay, and just try to update this one more time. For this should work actually. Okay, so we now it fires the onChange event. So the other thing, we don't actually want to, well, we actually want to, now we need to extract the particular selected value. So in jQuery this can be done very simply. So let's create variable equals variable call it font size basically. Okay, and this would be equal to font size and option selected dot text. Okay, and now let's alert our by the way, the reason why I use alert, so the regular console log won't work if you are writing a Chrome extension. There are some fancy tricks to allow that, but that's not the topic of this tutorial, so I'll be using simply the alert. So alert font size here, and I hope to see how the font size would be how the value would be tracked. So should have seen 20 now. Okay, I got 20. So 14, okay, great. Now this is it basically regarding the initial setup, and the next thing is actually the heart of our Chrome extension. So so before copy pasting this code from developer.chrome.com extensions messaging, I would like to introduce you the idea of messages within the Chrome extension. So let's have a look at our manifest file. So there are two JavaScript files available in our extension. So the first one is content.js, which runs along with the page that is loaded, so it can manipulate the page, whatever styles, appearance, whatever, but it can't, and this script can't listen to the events that are happening in our pop-up extension window. So that's a bit of a pain, right? But the font.js can actually listen on events within our pop-up layout, but the font.js can't really do anything with the, it can't work directly with the content of the page that was loaded. So we need to establish some sort of a connection between these two parts, so between our Chrome extension on the one hand and the content script which runs along with the web pages scripts. So we need to establish some sort of a connection, and the mechanism for doing that is called messaging. So here in Chrome documentation we can do the following stuff here. So this example demonstrates sending a message to the content script in the selected tab. So when we want the currently selected tab, whatever, to be identified, and we want to send the message from our extension here on click on this event. We want to send message to the content script that works along with this page. So it consists of two parts. Let me copy the first part that actually sends the message. So here I just paste this stuff in, and okay, here first we're querying the active tab, and then we send in the message to the particular tab. So this is the tab specified, so this would be the current active tab, and also we will have we can call the callback function on success. So for now let's replace this with alert and send message like this, and here is actually the message itself that we are sending. So we're not supposed to send this hello here, but instead we would be sending the font size, and so this is the name of the element, and this font size would be actually the value that we're picking from our selector, like this. So also here in send message we can probably specify the font size as well, but if it only sends but doesn't really receive anything, it would give us an error. But still, I just want to quickly show you how this is going to work. So go into extensions, update and stuff, and just trying to fire the event. So the message is sent. Okay, so for some reason it didn't show, for some reason it didn't show the font size. Okay, let's make this one more time. Okay, and the element. Okay, so could have added a little space there, but doesn't matter really. So here we get an error that couldn't establish connection. Receiving end doesn't exist, and that's because basically the receiving end doesn't really exist. And the receiving end should have been. So here we read. So on the receiving end, you need to set up a runtime on message event listener to handle the message. This looks the same from a content script or extension page. So this sort of event listener, the on message event listener, is the same regardless if it is located in the content script or in the extension related script. Okay, so just copy this stuff here and go into my content script. So here I just quickly paste this stuff in, and let me see. So I don't really like how it. Okay, so probably this is just fine. So here at the very first we actually want to say if the message was received. So here let's alert message received. Okay, and now I just okay, just let's get rid of our errors at the moment. So just update this stuff, and I'm going to some sort of a page and just trying to invoke. So we just sent the message, okay, but doesn't seem that message was received. Okay, so we have an error. So first we need to update the target app. So now the content script is alive, and as far as content script is alive, it actually starts listening to incoming messages. So it actually took me for about 3 hours to reveal that sort of issue before recording this video ever. So now we have this message received stuff again, so we can send like kind of whatever, and we have our message received stuff here. So as far as we can receive our messages, so okay, we don't really need to fire this sort of callback function anymore, so to just getting rid of that. And here so we call our message element as the font size. So here instead of this greeting we will be using request font size. So let's actually try to alert the particular message that was actually received. So okay, well, let's call this font size and save, and I just update, just get rid of errors here. So I just update my extension again, and here updating the page to make sure the content script is alive. And now we're trying to send some sort of a value. So here we receive the font size, and this is received already by the content script. So the very last thing left here is actually we need, let's inspect this element. So we see that it's the embeddable HTML code editor. So it's called ACE, and here we see the very initial div defining the ID for this editor, and here we have a style with a font size attribute with the font size definition. So what we need to do here, we need just to pick up this sort of div and change the style and change the style accordingly to set up the font size to whatever we did receive in this sort of application. So let's actually try to implement that at the moment. So here what we need to do now, we need to pick up we need to pick up our ID editor, and so let me just check that out. Okay, ID editor, okay, and set up the attribute of style to the value of, so we say in here font size plus, and now we're using our request dot font size and plus okay, pixels. So we need to specify the yeah, so it would be in pixels and this semicolon here. So at the moment I believe this should work, so let's test that out. Okay, so just updating the stuff again. So just close, don't need this anymore. Okay, content script is alive, great. And now let's try to set up, so font size, and we have our font size being changed, so let's make it a little bit bigger, font size 24, great, so it kind of works. Okay, so the very last thing here is actually to get rid of this nasty script here. So well, actually we can make it like this. Okay, maybe not. Okay, so okay, so now it looks like much better. So let's update this one last time probably, and update our side over here, and so 14 is probably the default as it is. Okay, so 16. Okay, so now also we need to get rid of this alert over here. Save and update again. So 16, great, 18, 20, 26. Okay guys, so this is kind of it, and let's get back to 15, the initial size of the insert of an editor. So as you can see here, it works just perfectly well. So this also can be used with basically whatever code editors or elements where just specifying the font size within the style attribute works. So wherever that works, you could have used this sort of technique. So this is it for this video. I hope you've enjoyed this and learned something interesting from it. So until next time, and take care.